Hey guys, how you doing? This is Walter Montero, and this is episode 40 of the Real Estate and Mortgage Show. Pretty excited about this particular episode because, number one, it's episode 40, so it's a bit of a milestone. And the other thing that I'm excited about is that we are on the brink of hitting 50,000 downloads for our podcast. So pretty excited about that. Glad you're enjoying the show. We've had some feedback in terms of people that have been listening to it and enjoying the content that we're sharing with you guys, and I'm really excited about that. Anyway, this week's episode is probably going to be short, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. More than anything, it's about the standard forms that real estate agents use in terms of executing agreements of purchase and sale, and of course the listing agreements. So these forms, just so you're clear, these have been designed or have been basically outlined by the Ontario Real Estate Association, and they have clauses in them that basically address elements of a real estate transaction that need to be obviously addressed in a transaction in Ontario. Okay, so anyway, these forms are standard forms. They're made to protect both the buyer and the seller. And at any rate, the reason I'm probably bringing this up more than anything is at the moment I'm dealing with an out-of-country seller. And so anyway, we've listed their property and we've presented them with some offers with Ontario standard forms. And they are really intimidated by the content of these forms. So at any rate, I just want to sort of reassure you that these forms are definitely designed in good faith in the best interest of all the parties involved in a real estate transaction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload onto my blog, waltermontero.com/podcast, episode 40, and we're going to upload some of the standard forms that we use, and basically what the version of the forms that I'm going to upload is sort of the dummy version in terms of interpreting what these clauses actually mean when you sign them. Okay, so I want everybody to be clear in terms of what's involved in a real estate transaction, what's involved in the forms, what are you actually agreeing to, so you can feel comfortable in going ahead and executing a real estate transaction using the Ontario Standard Form through the Ontario Real Estate Association. They're great forms. They're fill in the blank. They address everything that needs to be addressed in a real estate transaction. And like I said, I'm going to upload the forms, the dummy version, so you're clear on what's involved in a real estate transaction, so you don't have to feel intimidated when one of these forms falls on your kitchen or dining room table and you're expected to execute that in order to sell your property. So at any rate, I just want to thank you again for being part of the podcast. We're on the brink of 50,000 downloads. We're on episode 40. We're very excited. We've got some great things going on in terms of internet marketing. So, feel free to log on to our site, cambridgehouses.com, and check out what we got. And again, as I say, if you ever have any questions about the real estate market or the mortgage market, by all means, give us a call. You can reach us at the office, 519-624-9222. Thanks a lot, guys, and episode 40 has been short and sweet, as you can tell. I always get a little bit intimidated by long podcasts. I don't mind them, but there's no, you're 15, 20 minutes in the car. It's nice to burn through a podcast, maybe 2 or 3. Obviously, our podcast, we try and keep it short and sweet so you can listen to it. And thanks again for your loyalty and listening. And you have yourself a great week. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of the Real Estate and Mortgage Show. If you have any real estate questions, please direct them to me at 519-624-9222 or walter@maximumresults.ca, or you can find me online at www.cambridgehouses.com. If your interests are in mortgages, please feel free to call 519-624-9222 or email Karen at maximumresults.ca, or you can find her online at www M as in Mary, R as in Roger, financial.ca. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you have a great week.